Yeah.
So welcome, thank you so much for coming. This is all about building your Young Living business. Some of you have been building for a while, some of you are brand new, so hopefully today gives you the basics of what you need. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about network marketing in general because it's very different probably than any business model you've ever used before. And within network marketing, we're going to talk about opening up ourselves to believe that things are possible, because if you don't, then this isn't the business for you. So we're going to try to open ourselves up to it today. The second thing we're going to talk about is the compensation plan. It's very important to at least know the part of the compensation plan that you're currently in, so that when other people ask you, you can tell them and you know it. Or at least you know something to refer them to look at. And then last, we're going to talk about the really simple way to build. And most of you signed up that way because you either came to a class with myself, or Gina, or Lorna, or Sharon. That's how most of you got here. So we're going to talk about that part of it too. So the first part's network marketing in general. And people have negative views of network marketing, positive views of network marketing. So we're going to talk it. You'll also hear it called multi-level marketing sometimes. So let's start with talking about business growth. This is a statistic from Forbes magazine that in 2013, the average American business grew about 5%. That would be considered really good growth for a business in the United States. And then they put growth into categories. So the first category would be any business growing above 15% is considered rapid growth for an American business. And then there's a bunch of levels in between. And then they call anything growing above 100% annually light speed growth. And the reason that I mention this is because women and men like you and me are growing really fast in Young Living, and not just a few people, not just a few stories that you hear of people growing these big businesses. If you look at the back of your member news when you get an order, you'll see hundreds of people doing really big business growth in Young Living. And I want to just tell you a little story. When I started really thinking about how to build a business last year in November, so not November 2014, but November 2013, in my organization, I had $747 worth of essential oils that people bought. And in your virtual office, you'll often see next to a product something called PV. That's how much that product's worth to your compensation. And usually it's dollar for point. So if something's 150 PV, it's usually $150. So November of 2013, I had 747 overall. And I was really proud of that because I had signed up a couple people and I was ordering and they were ordering and we were all feeling good. And it was really exciting. This year in November of 2014, I had over 5,000. So you can see that I was in light speed growth. And I work full time and I'm not a businessman and I'm not like, you know, robbing people for money or something. I just worked consistently, couple hours a week. Takes hard work, but it is possible. So I wanted to point that out, that that's what's cool about network marketing is like I would never have had that growth in anything else that I did personally. So it's really important to point that out. My sister did the same thing. I don't remember specifically what your numbers were.
We calculated both of ours to be about 600%
in a year.
And that is from literally not very many hours of work a week.
And you look at it like, and as you grow, you'll look at it as very small. Now I look at 5,000 and I go, that's small because I'm trying to get to the next point. But if you think about it in these terms, it's big, it's a big deal. So every time you get to a goal, pat yourself on the back. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's from 100 to 500 or 500 to 1,000. So the reason that I'm pretty much obsessed with Young Living, other than the oils, and as a kind of ambitious person, is that it's not your average network marketing company. And the reason is because the model looks different. If you're doing like, a jewelry network marketing business, or you're doing a, I'm trying not to use brand names. Cosmetics or kitchenware or something. Oftentimes you have to have lots and lots of stuff to actually sell to people. It's like retail marketing. You have to have it at your house, then when people come over, you have to provide it to them and you're doing sales tax and all that stuff. As you know, because all of you have signed up, that's not how this business works. This business works by you introducing someone to a product and them signing up online. So it's really, really simple. The other thing that sets it apart from any other network marketing company, and I'm not positive because I don't know every network marketing company, but from the ones that I've either bought from, I've never done another company business-wise, but when I've bought from a network marketing company, I can't buy the products at wholesale unless I'm doing the business. Whereas for Young Living, there's many people in this room who've not signed anyone else up, but they're buying wholesale. So it's like in this business, you will never feel pressured to do the business. It'll always just be, I can order my products wholesale, and I can share with other people if I feel like it. But it's never a pressure thing, it's never a money game. And I think that really sets Young Living apart, because that was never Gary Young's intention. As many of you know who've been in it for a long time, Sharon could attest to this, he didn't do marketing materials or anything until just a couple years ago, and this is a 20-something year business, because every dime he gets goes back to the farm. So that's what I think sets Young Living apart personally. And also, can you go down to CVS and get a nice bottle of peppermint oil? You can't, but I can go down to CVS and get makeup or Tupperware or other things. So I just think it's a really, really great business, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it, obviously. So today what I want to do is give you the essential skills that you need to master to grow. There's other skills down the road that we're all going to need to learn, but these are like the basics of every leader in Young Living I've ever listened to. It's for those of you that know me, I'm constantly listening to conference calls and YouTube videos and watching what other people do. And I have 3 people that I hold in very high esteem that are Young Living high up people, higher than my rank. And they've built very successful businesses. And I'll give you their names because you'll probably want to follow them on Facebook or on YouTube. And they have lots of good advice just about oils in general too. Adam Green, I think he's about 25 years old, and he's the highest rank you can reach. Monique McLean, who is a former nurse who did this. Monique McLean is M-O-N-I-Q-U-E, and then her last name is M-C, and then capital L-E-A-N. And the other woman that I love, she's also a former teacher, she's a former science teacher, is Connie McDaniel. And those are the 3 people I've always looked up to as Young Living leaders because they've reached the highest rank and they've done it with integrity, and they've done it by showing other people how to do it too. And so from those 3 people mostly, I've learned that if you don't master the essential skills of sharing the oils with others, you will constantly be doing the same things over and over again and not seeing results. So why did I put a picture of a teacher reading a book here? It kind of reminds me of the skills of reading. As a reading teacher, which is my primary job at the school I work at, if a child comes to me and they're not reading, there's 3 essential skills a reader has to master that all of you have mastered. It's fluency, accuracy, and comprehension. The rate at which they read, the ability to read words, and then how to understand them. And if they can't master those 3 basic skills, when they come to me, I'm figuring out what's that basic skill they're missing. And it's the same in the Young Living business. If you don't have the basics down, you could put on a hat that says Young Living and run around town giving everybody business cards, and it's never going to go anywhere for you. Just like if I handed one of these kids that come to me a Shakespeare book, what are they going to do with it if they don't have the essential skills? I had a basketball game. You'll see them miss a lot of layups during the game, and then at halftime when they come back out, what does their coach have them shooting? Layups. Even though they all know how to shoot layups. They've been playing basketball, they're professionals. But it always goes back to the basics. So that's what I really want to show you today. Otherwise, you'll look like this. And believe me, because Sharon and my sister and I have all done it, right? We keep doing the same things and we're running on the little thing and it's not going
faster and faster.
Yeah, so don't reinvent the wheel because people have already done it and we know how it's done. And so don't reinvent the wheel and do weird things and think it's going to get you somewhere. But when no offense, but when you've mastered these essential skills, then you let your personality shine and you find your sweet spot, whatever that is. For me, obviously I like to talk because I'm a teacher. And, or whatever, you know, if you like to make soaps.
That's a good essential skill.
Yeah. If you like to make soaps or you like to cook or whatever you like to do with the oils, you should do it and let your personality shine. But not until you've mastered the essential skills, is what I'm trying to say. Or not to show other people the oils until you've mastered the skills. Okay, so here's where we get deep. I'm going to give you Valor. I'm going to pass this around, and you can put it on your hands and smell it. You can put it all over yourself. Because as Kathy kind of found out, Valor is sort of the oil that opens your emotions up to all the other oils. That's why in the raindrop technique, they always start with Valor, because it really opens up your heart. And so we're going to start with Valor today, because this quote, I think, is depressing, but also helps us to kind of re-envision who we are. We are born with the innate sense of love, beauty, possibilities, fun, and adventure. And slowly the world shuts it out of us until we are hardened and conformed into somebody appropriate and safe, resigned by just getting by. And it's sad, but haven't we all been there? I mean, we've all been there at a stage of our life, like this is kind of just all there is, and I'm not going to think much beyond that. So the goal today is to let yourself come out of sort of the confines of your reality. So like right now your reality is probably what your income is, or what your job is, or what your what your life is like now, but I want you to kind of open up to the fact that this doesn't have to be the way it is. I'm going to share a little small story. Connie McDaniel was giving a similar presentation on the business, and she said that she was so trapped in what her reality was when her husband wanted to do this business. She couldn't see anything past where they were at that moment. And I was thinking about this boy I had a couple years ago in 4th grade, and it was like a career day or something like that, and I asked my students to think about if they had no limits, like it wasn't about money, it wasn't about their family, and they could do anything they wanted in life, what would they do? And of course this is 4th grade, so a lot of people want to be football players or ballerinas or whatever. And this one kid wrote this thing about he wanted to work at McDonald's because he knew he would get fed at least once a day, and he knew that he would get paid something if he worked there. Perfect example of being in the confines of your own reality, right? That was his reality, and of course he wasn't going to look past it because it was scary. But I want you guys to look past it and not put yourself in that place. So I'm going to show you a picture of Gary Young. I don't know actually what that plant is, what field he's in. It looks like he might be in Ecuador. I don't know if you know Sharon where he is there.
No, but I wonder.
What was it, like sage or something?
Or Melissa.
Yeah, oh, it could be the Melissa fields.
That's not Melissa.
It's not.
No? Oh no, because Esther gave it.
Seed, you know.
Okay.
So this is Gary Young, and I think that the reason I'm using he's the one who started Young Living, for those of you who don't know. And the reason why I'm showing you this picture of him is because he refused to go here, to this place of safety and, you know, just whatever the world gives me. And for he's been doing this for probably 30 years. The company's been in business 21 years. And everybody called him crazy, they've called him a quack, they've called him all sorts of things, but he didn't let that stop him. People were like, oils will never heal anybody, oils are dumb, aromatherapy doesn't do anything. And he kept with it because he had a picture bigger than his reality. So this is what I want you to think about right now. What would it cost you to pursue your life's passion? For example, if you wanted to be a piano player, and you're like, I always wanted to play piano as a kid, I'd love to learn now. Think 2 lessons a week for 2 years or something like that. And just think how much, whatever your vision is of your life, would it cost you? Maybe you want to go back to school, whatever it may be, what would that cost be? And the reason I'm saying this is because Connie McDaniel always says, most people get a job and then they create what their life is going to be, right? Because, you know, okay, I'm a teacher, I make $45,000 a year, now I'm going to create what my dream is from that. But Connie McDaniel said when she was learning how to do this business, she had to flip that around. She had to dream and then find what she was going to use to pursue it. So in that way, Young Living becomes the vehicle. You build your dream, whatever it may be, and then you let this job be the vehicle. My teaching job is not the vehicle for my dreams. I love my teaching job, that's why I continue to do it. It's the thing that I love to do, but it's not going to get me my dreams, whatever they are, and I know that. So when I found Young Living, not only did it make me feel better, that was the first start, but then I said, wow, this is something that could actually help me fulfill what I really want out of my life. So here are some dreams that are someday dreams that people often have. Being debt-free, it's a huge one. Buying a house, option to retire early at 30, at 50, at 70, whatever you want. Option to help your spouse or your partner retire because they're unhappy. These are often dreams that people have, or at least I have. Open a nonprofit. My dream, as you know, I love animals. I have 4 of them upstairs. They're probably spying on us right now. My dream is to have a big property and rescue dogs and teach them how to be pets and then send them out to people's homes. I can't do that with my teaching salary, right? So it's not about money, it's about what can you do once you have it. And that's what my dream is. Plus I would love to have my student loans paid off. That would be my other thing. That would be my practical dream. So these are just some things. And there's a reason why those dreams are on our heart. So you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with network marketing? Well, if you don't have a purpose for doing something, why are you doing it? So we're trying to find a little bit of purpose here before we get into it. So here's what I want you to do. You might have one of these things in your mind that you want to do. And you could write it down on your paper, or if that's too scary, you can just hold it in your mind. And we're going to do a little meditation. So this oil is called Envision, because I'm going to lead you through a little... Perfect. I'm going to lead you through a little meditation to help you envision this actually becoming a reality for you. Emotional oils can be strong. When I first smelled Build Your Dream oil, I like wanted to throw up. And then I realized, oh, it's because I don't have a dream right now, right? So whatever, we sometimes repulse oils that we need. So if this oil smells weird to you, hold it out a little bit. And so let me give you some Envision. And when you get it in your hands or on yourself, I just want you to hold up your hands to your nose and close your eyes, and then I'll lead you through a little meditation. I think I'm going to make it up a little bit as I go. I have an idea in my mind. So when I want it to be within the confines of the reality you have right now. It's not about your salary right now, your marriage right now, your house right now. Okay? So I want you to put your hands up to your face with your eyes closed. And I'm going to lead you through this. So I want you to picture yourself in your dream. Who are you when your dream has been fulfilled? I want you to picture where you're standing. What does your surrounding look like? What are the sounds you hear? Who's with you? And I want you to imagine that this dream is not just one day, but every single day. And then, the scary part, I want you to envision it even bigger than the picture you have right now. Whatever that picture is you have right now, double it or triple it. And then I want you to let this feeling that you have in your heart when you see this dream kind of flood out around your body right now, so that whatever the world is telling you, this vision, this dream, is pushing that negativity away so that nobody can get to this dream and that this dream can continue to live because it's on your heart for a reason. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. When I did that earlier, it almost made me want to cry. Because I think sometimes when we think about things that we really want, it's emotional for us, definitely. Especially if your reality right now is not so hot. So I'm going to pass out a paper to you. This is Young Living's income disclosure statement. And when you tell other people about the business, you can tell them your own income if you're comfortable with that. Sometimes people ask me, what are you making right now? But the more professional way to do it, and actually the way that Young Living Legal prefers you to do it, is to give them this income disclosure statement. So I've got the income part blown up on here, but this shows you all the different ranks in Young Living. They have these names for the different amount of money you hit. And then about the average salary that people are making, which means that most, silvers are making this, but there's others making a range. Okay, so the ranks go star, senior star, executive, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, crown diamond, royal crown diamond. There's 9 ranks in Young Living. And the 3 that I mentioned to you to find on Facebook are Royal Crown Diamond. And some of them actually just hit it recently.
How long was Connie McDaniel in Young Living?
Connie McDaniel was in Young Living for about 12 years before she hit Royal Crown Diamond. Adam Green was in it for about 2 years before he hit Royal Crown Diamond. So it just depends on what your goal is. So the reason I'm showing you this slide now and not during the compensation plan aspect is because I want you to see how even at small ranks or big ranks, how this can help you fulfill that dream. So what would it be like at silver to have $2,300 extra dollars? So that's like almost my teaching salary, right? That is equivalent. And then all the way up to Royal Crown Diamond. This is monthly in this column, $106,000. What would that be like? And it's not to say it doesn't take hard work. Look at the hours that people are working at the different ranks. And notice something weird. It goes up as they get more money. They're working harder. Because it's not about the money that you make in it. I'm convinced of that already. Because I've already had experiences where I don't care about what my check is. The experience is that now they're helping other people. Or now they've got that dog rescue place and they want it to be bigger. Or Gary Young wants to build another farm. Because why do people like Oprah and Donald Trump and people who have millions and billions of dollars keep going? Because that's the going part is what's motivating them. So if your vision is small, like I just want a couple extra dollars, you have to think bigger for yourself. Because this business, I swear to God, is not about selling oils. I have discovered that. It's way about being a good person, helping other people, being a better friend. Somebody needs something from you, getting up off your butt and going and helping them. Those are things I didn't do before this business. And I know, sorry?
And why is that?
Because I think I didn't see anything really bigger than myself. You know, going to school, I want to be a teacher, I want to buy my house, I want to do this. And then when I started doing this and noticing that people really needed me to help them, or they wanted to host an event at their house, it was the first time that I really ever felt, well, obviously in my classroom I help kids all day long. But in terms of helping grown-ups, kids are easy to help because they're innocent, right? But in terms of helping grown-ups and being a really good friend, I feel like this business has helped me to do that. And that's my personal journey, I think. So this is just showing you that these things are possible, and there's people sitting in this room who have reached ranks. And on the back of your essential news that you get with your essential rewards order every month, or with your starter kit if you just got a starter kit, you'll see people hitting silver, hundreds of people a month. So it's not like one of those companies where like 3 people have done it. You know, there's lots and lots and lots of average people all the time. Actually, I'm going to share this. I hope I don't embarrass you, Mary. But when we're at convention and we're walking down the street and there's people of all types. I mean, people of all types. And Mary looks at us and goes, well, if these people can do it, I sure as hell can do it. And it's like, yeah, it's average people. It's not like anything super special. So, just saying.
Do you mind me asking where you are on the...
On the scale, I'm executive about to hit silver, or hopefully soon about to hit silver.
Wow.
So I'm going to talk to you, this is about the 4-year career. And a 4-year career is a book that's about network marketing as a business. And there's a Young Living edition of the book, which is really fantastic because you get to hear profiles of all sorts of people who've done it. So this is the average person's plan, the 40-40-40 plan. You go to school for 4 years, you work 40 hours a week, you get $40,000, and then you retire at 40%. That's most people's average, right? We go to school, we work a full-time job, we get about $40,000, and then we retire with about nothing. That's kind of the plan, and it's kind of depressing. I mean, when you think about it, that's why I got into this, because I'm like, I know I want to be a teacher. It's what I love to do. I love helping kids. That is my life's mission. I know that. But I also know that I don't have the ability to take care of myself doing that.
Did you feel like you were just kind of like at a dead end? Like
Yeah.
You're working so hard, it's wearing you down.
That's exactly how I felt, because I'm like, I know I enjoy my job. I never wake up and say I don't want to go. But then I look at the teacher pay scale, and after 20 years, with inflation, I'm going to be pretty much making the same amount I do now.
Well, and then all of your loans.
And all my student
It's
loans.
just a
Where you're gonna be when you're
crime
older.
for
Yeah.
teachers. what
Exactly.
it costs, and then they don't make any money. It's terrible.
Exactly. And then I thought, you know, even though my bigger dream is to be a principal, even with that, another $40,000 worth of school to make, you know, however much I make, and then, so it's kind of,
And your health, you can never judge what's going to happen. with your
exactly. And you never know. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. So that's the 40-40-40 plan, which I was on before this. Or you work for 4 years really hard. I'm not saying you're not going to have to work hard. I work hard and I grow and I push myself all the time in this business. But if you work for a solid 4 years, you build a residual income. Residual means if I stop doing Young Living tomorrow, I'm still going to get a check every month. Because I made an investment in a person and stuck with them for a while, and if they like the oils, which everybody does once they start, they keep ordering, and it gives me a residual income. And then they sign people up, and it gives them a residual income. That's not to say I'll continue to grow. I won't if I don't work at it. But if I wanted to quit tomorrow, I would still get a check next month and the next month. And that's residual income. It's more like an investment. You're making a one-time investment in somebody or something to continue getting returns. But I feel like it's much better than an investment because you actually get to work with people and you get to grow from that. So there's people that I know in our organization who built to silver or gold way back in the 90s and have maintained that rank without doing very much. So it's more about an investment. Most of the time we have to trade hours for dollars. It's not the same in this. In the beginning, you're going to work way more hours than your check looks like. That's a promise. And then as it starts to grow, you're like, oh, I didn't sign anybody else this month and I still got a $450 check or a $500 check. So it's investing now to get paid longer. That's what I'm saying. If you could really work hard for 4 years, you'd have a very solid residual income. So why network marketing in general? It's a small investment, right? That starter kit right there was $150. That's really all you would need to start. Small investment, you work however much you want. Nobody in here is going to tell you you need to work 20 hours. You do whatever you want. If you want to hold one event every 3 months, one event a week, that's what you do. Or just bring people to other people's events, you choose. And then the reason network marketing works, so you think, well, how could Lauren get paid on all these people and the company still make money? The company does not advertise. You will not see a TV ad for Young Living. You will not see posters, billboards. You won't see advertising people at their company. You won't see internet ads because we're the advertising. That's how Young Living can pay out people, is that they don't pay for advertising. They just pay for the people that share it with others, because that's the best form of advertising. This is the other thing I like. You're in business for yourself. It's my business, but I'm not by myself. I'm not just doing it by myself. I'm doing it with all of you, right? So that's what makes it fun. I talked about residual income, and then anybody can do it. How many jobs can you walk into and start making almost $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month without a huge investment or some sort of school backing or whatever? So this is how Young Living compares to an investment. If I had $48,000 invested and I had an annual return of 5%, which would be really good, that would give me about $200 a month. So basically the equivalent, if your check is $200 for Young Living, you just have the equivalent of a $48,000 investment, right? Making a really good return. So that's why it's cool, because when Connie McDaniel first got her check, she told her husband, oh my God, we did all this work for a stinking $200. But then when she really started to think of it, and then it became 400 and 1,000, I'm sure now she's a Royal Crown Diamond, I'm sure she's making 200 grand or something crazy a month. Now that stinking $200 didn't seem so bad, right?
It seems thinking good.
Yeah, it's really something good. I'd take 200. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I knew for 4 years or 5 years I just worked consistently, I could get to big places. Like, I'd sign up for 9 years of hard work right now to be getting 200 grand a month. And helping, how many people does Connie have in her organization now? Hundreds of thousands of people that started with her. Sharon introduced me, and all these people are sitting in this room because of Sharon. That's the big reward from it, right? So it's not traditional sales. You don't carry stock, you don't ship, you don't calculate sales tax, you don't need employees, and you don't have to fear competition. When my sister said she wanted to do this with me, I wasn't like, oh no, because then she's going to sign people up. I was like, yes, because when she signs people up, I'll do well from it. And you don't need brick and mortar. We're in my living room right now, right? So this is cool. I mean,
Is your brick and mortar here?
it is my brick and mortar here, but I don't need another brick and mortar. Okay, so here's the model, plain and simple. This is where it gets really important. Not that the other stuff wasn't important, but this is where it gets solid, and I'm going to actually give you a handout with this on it. You can take one and pass it. This is what we call the 531,440 versus the 24. Okay, if you sign 2 people up every month, you will have 24 people in your organization by the end of the year, right? Which wouldn't be bad. It would not be bad. But you enrolled 2, and you did not share anybody else how to enroll. So one of your friends signed up, and then you didn't ever tell them that they could sign someone else up. By the end of the year, if you're lucky, you might have 24 people in your organization. Now, this is a theoretical, obviously, but if you enroll 2 people a month, and they each enroll 2 people a month, every month, and you keep enrolling people, that's how many people you would have in your organization at the end of the year. And that's what Adam Green did. I mean, he built from silver to Royal Crown Diamond in a year or 2 years. And I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't have 40 hours a week to do that. But I'm saying that this is the model. Excuse me. So if you never tell anybody else how to sign other people up, you'll be stuck here for a very long time. That's what I'm saying. Even if this failed by 99%, you'd still have about 1,000 people in your organization by the end of the year. So, sorry, I'm a little tickle in my throat. There are 2 network marketing truths. However you sign someone up is how they must sign someone else up. Must. So if you make a whole little parade float with Young Living and you go down the street in the Rose Bowl parade, that's how everybody else is going to think they have to share Young Living with others. If you walk down the street with a sandwich board saying, buy Young Living oils, everyone else is going to think they have to do that, and nobody's going to want to join you if you do these, right? Okay, so when you sign someone up, you really have to think, how am I signing them up? And I'm going to show you how to do it. I sign people up at small events at my house, reading from a script, teaching them basic things about the oils. Because I know that when people see that, they're going to think, oh, I can do that, that's easy. Whereas if I decorate a parade float and run around the streets, nobody's going to want to do that. It has to be something that people can duplicate. Because we're not doctors. We don't prescribe oils. We don't tell people how to heal from oils. We don't suggest they can cure themselves with them. We simply share our experiences, teach them basic things, and then they can share with others. If you get into the model where you're the expert and you're the doctor of essential oils and you know everything and you have parade floats and sandwich boards, no one's going to want to come with you. Or if they do, it's going to be the 24 and not the 500,000. Any questions about that? We're going to get into how to do it.